All right, here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. It is Friday, and every Friday we get together. We invite our members to come and share about themselves, share about their businesses, and we have one particular special guest in the spotlight that we usually highlight. Guess what, everyone? Today, the guest that we are going to highlight is me and Liz. I want to say hi. Just want to big shout out and tons of love to all our friends who are joining us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. If you have joined us over there, or if you're watching us on the replay, if you're catching this on the podcast, or if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, we welcome you also. We're really happy that you're here. So today, I'm going to talk about something called visibility. And I'm going to talk about something that I think is really important for all of us because we're going into 2023 and we want to increase our impact, right? You know how there is this saying that if you keep doing the exact same thing and you expect different results, that is actually the definition of insanity. And yeah, I know we all have some level of insanity, but I'm feeling like it shouldn't be that. Let's have our insanity manifest in fun ways. Who's with me on that? Yeah, I totally get that. So here's the thing. I wanted to start by saying that when I talk about visibility, I'm going to throw myself under the bus for just a moment. So hang tight with me here. When we talk about visibility, a lot of people would say to themselves, you know what, Dr. Davia is very visible. She's always on social media. I see her at all the events. She's at everything. But is she really? Ask somebody, what does Davia do? What are her offerings? You know, how can you actually pay her money to get her to do something for you? And people would be like, I don't know. Then they'll probably say, well, I know she hosts a women's group, but that's free. And anybody can join as long as they're into the idea of us supporting each other. So I don't think that's her business. Let's think about it again. I know she's been talking recently about she has a TV show, but when she comes on a TV show and when she comes on her podcast, she's always interviewing other people and pushing other people into the spotlight. So, not too sure what it is that we could actually pay her money for and have her deliver to us. This is a conundrum. So I was talking to my coach ahead of the Ladies Power Lunch Fall Summit, and she was kind of the one who brought this to my attention that yes, I am out there getting everybody else visible, but nobody really knows what I am doing myself. So in effect, I am not visible. Who can relate to that? Anybody? That makes sense for anybody, or is it just me? If you feel like that's something that you can relate to, where you're really comfortable with sharing about other people's things and pushing other people into the spotlight and making sure that other people are seen and heard. If that feels like really right for you, that's okay. And you can type yes or type me in the chat. That's fine. So talking to my coach, and my coach is outstanding. I personally believe that we always need to have some layers of support in the things that we're doing so that we can stay focused on making ourselves better and improving ourselves. So I was talking to my coach, amazing woman, and she said to me, you know what, let's go a little deeper. Let's dig a little bit under the surface to see why you have no issues with running to the nearest microphone and blahing into it, but you're not sharing of yourself, you're sharing of everybody else. And she made me do a little mini meditation, and what popped up for me, and I've mentioned this in our Ladies Power Lunch Fall Summit, because it was I was so taken aback by it, and taken aback by something, gotta share it with everybody. But it brought to mind this story of when I was back in elementary school. We had a little playhouse on the playground. Only a certain set of people were playing in the playhouse all the time. So I devised a game that everybody could play that allowed everybody to have a chance to rotate through the playhouse. I called it, no surprise, Lunch Club. And I feel like that was a little bit foreshadowing. But the beauty of what happened next is that our teacher, who didn't really understand what was happening, and I don't think she had the time or the energy to really figure this whole thing out. And she was like, "Oh, Lunch Club. I don't feel like everybody's being included in this, so we're shutting this down." So my beautiful, beautiful idea for getting everybody to play along in our playhouse was kind of thwarted. I was completely misunderstood. I even felt a little bit like, oh my goodness, this was such a good idea. And if she had only taken a minute to listen to what I was sharing, it would have made sense to her too, but she didn't take that time. And I mean, when you're, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, things like that will kind of shut you down a little bit. It can kind of rob your joy, and it can even prevent you from, here I am, 500 years old, not even realizing that this is stuck in the back of my mind when it becomes time for me to share about the things that are important to me, the things that are my things. And so for those of you who are joining in with me on the call today, I am going to invite you to, let's give a little thought to our own visibility and how we are showing up. And if there's anything at all that might be preventing us from being as visible as we could possibly be in 2023. That's the year that's coming next. I'm so lost right now. Where am I? Who am I? What's going on? Yes, for 2023, how can we put our very best foot forward and make sure that we're being the most visible? So I want to invite you, if it feels right to you, you can take a deep breath and hold the breath. It's always a good idea to hold it in a little bit, and now exhale. And take another deep breath in and hold and exhale. And last time, deep breath in, hold that breath. And as you exhale, I would love for you to think about, if everything was equal, if everything was just exactly as you want it to be, what would your visibility for your business look like for 2023? Do you feel like you are reaching the people who are losing sleep at night because the thing that you offer is the thing that they need the most? Do you feel like your message is hitting in all the spots where it needs to be? Do you feel as though you have the support that you need to be in all the channels that might be necessary for getting your word out? Do you feel like you're networking in the right places? Do you feel like you're talking to the right people? What does your visibility look like if it was just absolutely ideal? And just hold on to that thought, hold on to that idea, hold on to the energy of that, what that feels like when you know that your message is getting to the people who need it, and the people who need you are finding you with ease and joy and grace, and you're spending your days not searching under, as our dear friend Barb says, searching under every rock and nook and cranny for your ideal client, but they are actually finding you and having an energy exchange where you provide them with what they need and they provide you with money, which you can use to grow your business, grow your abundance, and even grow your reach some more. Just imagine what that energy of that feels like. And hold on to that feeling and take a deep breath in, hold the breath. Exhale. Let's take another deep breath in and hold that breath in. Now exhale. And one last time, deep breath in. Hold on to that feeling as you exhale, and then open your eyes. And we're back, guys. We're back in 2022. But guess what? We have evoked that energy of 2023. So I want to invite Elizabeth and Rachel, and even those of you who are watching over with us, Mina and Jane and Hannah. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited that you have managed to tune in. If you want to join us over here in the Zoom room, you're absolutely invited. We had a little tech up. I was going to say a hiccup. Just make words up as we go along. But you can join us over here. It's growsmarternotharder.com/login. If you've never joined us in that way before, you will have to register. But come on over. We welcome you. So, Elizabeth, I'm curious, what showed up for you when you took our little trip into 2023? Anything fun?
Oh, yeah. So first of all, I just want to say that felt so good because I felt like I was like really into some, and I felt like energy flow. Like it felt really good to be able to go inward and look at that. So my brain first went off into these strategy things, right? Like it first went, oh, I'm going to be part of this publishing group and learn more about publishing this year and connect in that way. And then I tuned into feeling the energy, and I realized this is really what I've been so blessed to be able to hang out so much with you and to create with you, that this is my reality now, right? Like I have been able to, I don't have to think about where my next clients are coming from. They do come to me so naturally. I don't know where, the universe sends them my way, but it's because they can see me and know that I'm doing things, because I have been willing to step into that visibility and gotten to play and create with you and with the people at Ladies Power Lunch, and wherever else that ripples out to, right? Because there's a lot of ripply out
Yeah.
to experience that's like, and it feels so much easier than the way I used to do things, that I'm not turning back on. I don't want to go back to the way it was before. So
I totally hear that. That makes perfect sense. How about you, Rachel? I'm just curious, did you have any visions of what 2023 is looking like for you?
Well, yes, 2023 is definitely going to be very different than the last 2 years. I have a lot of prospective clients and referrals coming in. But the best part about next year is that I finally have clarity around who I want to serve. And that's taken me a long time to really get to that point. And I finally have it. Now I know for sure who exactly I want to be talking to and where they live and what they're doing. Now it's going to be the next couple of weeks and month for me to really get clear on exactly how to get in front of them and where they live and what they're doing, and let them know I'm here and I can serve them. But I that part's still fuzzy. I'm not exactly sure the how. And I'm kind of in that place where I've been learning, okay, maybe you don't really need to know how. Maybe it's just gonna happen now that you're clear, and your marketing is going to be speaking to them in every way that it should be, maybe I just leave it there and not try so hard. But it's still, I feel like I have to do a little bit of effort to get my message to the right people. So I have made some changes in where I'm going to be networking.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to those changes. I think next year is going to be really interesting after all the work I've done since 2020. It's been a very interesting journey.
I think absolutely figuring out who are those people, the people who are losing sleep at night because they need the
Yeah.
thing that you offer, that is priceless. And when you know that,
Mm.
then you can figure out, okay, where are they hiding? And
Mhm.
it's not under any kind of rocks or nooks and crannies. But
Right.
will tell you, it's not. Where are they located? What are
Mhm.
they up to? And how can I find them where they are and meet them in larger groups? So it's
Exactly.
easier.
It's much easier. And now it's just finding those groups that really make the most sense for me to spend my time with. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm taking a little time off from other groups so that I can explore that. And I feel good about that. And I can always kind of toggle back and forth to different organizations and try things out and see where my ROI is, what's the best return on my investment in this group, and go over here to this group of people and really get to know where the best place is for me to be to get in front of the right people. And that's what I think my next couple of weeks is going to be about, is trying to figure that out specifically. I have an idea, but I want to get really clear on that.
Awesome. And just so everybody who's tuning in and who's watching along knows the kind of business that this particular type of process works for, Rachel, can you share with everybody who you are, what you do, and who your ideal client would be?
So I'm Rachel Schemmerling. I'm an interior design consultant. I take a more holistic approach to interior design, and I've been really moving more into a full service decorating model as opposed to just design only. We've over the couple of last few years just really done a lot more design only and small design packages consulting, and now moving into more full service where I'm providing um, assistance with, from soup to nuts, from concept to completion, and really doing a full space. And I really would love to be working with people in a sort of transition, retired empty nesters, people that are ready to make that full investment to really get their space right.
Mhm.
People they've traveled, they're cultured, they really want to embrace the things that they love. They're boat people, they're tennis people, they're cigar and golf people. They're out doing the stuff. They're living life to the fullest. And now they're
Mhm.
ready to really make their home support their lifestyle. And wellness and holistic living is still a huge part of how I approach interior design. And so I want to bring that to that population, because that's right at the time where they're starting to think about, okay, I'm also going to be aging in place here, or I'm
Mhm.
going to be downsizing, or I'm going to be thinking about, how am I going to carry out the next 20 years of my life? So this is the point at which I want to meet them and help them get to that comfortable state in their home.
That's beautiful. So, I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm looking in the chat. Um, it's interesting because Mina is also commenting that she has been focusing on doing a couple of groups at a time, like not trying to do all the groups, not trying to do everything at once, but being a bit more laser focused, similar to what you were saying. And then Hannah posted that she's moving tomorrow and that design has been on her mind. So maybe there's an opportunity for a
Call
connection.
me, girl. I'll take care of you.
Awesome. So basically, the pillars of growing our business is smarter. They haven't changed. Even though we're moving into a new year, it's the same pillars that we have shared before, and I'm just going to take this opportunity to share them with us all again, because I really do believe that if we look at our businesses, laser focused on our businesses, and we apply these principles of Grow Smarter, that it makes a huge, huge difference. And the step one, I'm pointing over here to my whiteboard, which no one can see. So good. So all of you, use your parabolic lens and look over on my whiteboard, which is over here to my left, and you will see the first step is ask. And it's interesting that the first step is ask, because here's the thing, I'm not sending you out there, ladies and the few gentlemen who love to join us, I'm not sending you out there to go ask somebody to partner with you. That is not at all what the ask is. The ask is that you go into quiet contemplation, whether it's meditation or however it is that you get your downloads from, wherever you get your downloads from, sending you there and saying to you, ask, what is it that you want? Who do you want to connect with? You kind of have to know who your clients are, who your collaboration partners are going to be, what it is that you actually want your business to look like, what you want to feel like when you're in the energy of this beautiful, amazing business. It sounds like it might be a wasted step, and a lot of people jump over that step and go on to the next one. But what has become very clear is that if you are not clear about where you want to go, when you get there, how will you know? It's kind of difficult. So the ask is, it's the first step. I personally believe that if you spend enough time on that first step and you actually dive into it as deeply as you can and really ask the questions about how it is that you want your business to be, then perhaps you're going to get all the answers to all the other steps coming in that one session. I'm a personal fan of journaling. So usually I will spend some time quietly just doing some deep breathing to get everything to calm down a little bit, because my mind is always going at 100 miles per hour. It has to, because it has all the ideas for all of you. That is why it never shuts down. It never stops. But sometimes I have to take that time to get quiet. And then when I get quiet and I start journaling, and I just let stream of consciousness sometimes take over on that. And what I notice is that ideas just flow through. And you'd be surprised, Rachel, you were just saying that you're probably not so tuned in as yet to the how for the things that you need to do. But when you make the time for this specifically, one of our Ladies Power Lunch members says that she thinks of her business as her girlfriend. So her business girlfriend. And she thinks to herself, well, what does my girlfriend need? And then she journals about that. And I think that's so awesome, because if I think about my business as my girlfriend, I'm going to make sure she's good, she's okay, she's doing amazingly. Whatever she needs, I'm going to make sure that she has it. And so suddenly my perspective on my business and what I'm doing for my business shifts, and it doesn't feel heavy. It feels light and airy. So step one is definitely, for me, I would say with a bullet, ask. What do you want 2023 to look like? Who do you want to be connecting with in 2023? And how do you want to feel? don't forget that how do you want to feel piece? Because if you can feel that energy of what it feels like, then when you meet it, you're going to know it. And if you can feel that energy, you can align with it a little bit sooner than you might if you can't feel it. You know how we say energy is everything? A little bit nerdy on my side. I'm going to tell you that it's not a lie. If you go and you look at quantum physics, you'll see we're all energy. That's all we are, just little bags of energy walking around, interacting with each other. It's so beautiful. Step 2 is, I would say, check in on alignment. So certainly look to see who are people who you can connect with. And we're talking about connecting in a bunch of different ways. One way to connect is certainly collaboration. And yes, I said collaboration. You know, the ladies power lunch game is whenever I say collaboration, everybody takes a drink, right? Because how often do I say collaboration? So it can be collaboration relationships that you need to build. It could be coaching relationships that you need to build. Maybe you need some support in learning how to be the person who is delivering this new model that you're delivering. It might be that you need coaching, not necessarily personal development coaching, but coaching in how to do specific things. So coaching might be part of what you need. Mentorship might be what you need. It could be, it's funny, it could show up in either of 2 ways. It could show up with, for example, I'm going to just keep picking on you, Rachel, or no, let me pick on Rachel, I'm not going to pick on you yet, but I'm going to pick on you in a few minutes. Let me pick on somebody over in our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. Let me pick on Gina. Gina is a holistic business coach, but perhaps there's a holistic business coach out there that is somebody that Gina would love to have as a mentor, and being able to reach out and make connections in that way might be a great idea. Or, because here's the thing, how much have you ever learned when you're teaching something? Only a lot, right? I find, to be absolutely honest, when I was teaching, I would know that I know the material when I was teaching it. And so sometimes being the mentor is actually what you need to be in alignment. So let me see, who can I pick on here? Let's pick on Hannah. I know Hannah is a holistic, she's into holistic health, and she does cooking, and she does cooking retreats. Perhaps there's somebody out there who she's noticed could use some support in getting into that holistic health business, and maybe there's some mentorship that she could provide while providing that mentorship. I guarantee that there's always going to be some learning, there's going to be some opportunities for growth in that area. So coaching, mentorship, collaborations, networking. But like you were saying, Rachel, networking, yes, but in the right places. Because let's say, for example, I'm networking in a group that's all about auto engineering. Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I would find find a way to figure it out, but it wouldn't be as intuitive to connect with my ideal folks in that group as it is, for example, networking for me in the Ladies Power Lunch group. So just looking to see, where are you spending your time? Who are you spending your time with? Are these the folks who are your ideal folks? And if they're not, it's no big deal. because it doesn't mean that you have to cut ties with these people and never see them again. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is it gives you an opportunity to think, okay, where else could I be
Exactly.
spending my time?
Mhm.
So networking is a big one. And the last one that I have on my list for today, as far as that whole alignment goes, is masterminding. And just drop in the chat, say yes if masterminding is something that you're familiar with, something that you actually see the value of. I'm going to tell you that as many ideas as I have rattling around in my brain, the truth is a lot of the times those ideas are not for me, they are for somebody else. But what I find is that when I get together in a group with the right people, like-minded people, people who are on the same page with me, oh my goodness, and we start putting ideas on the table, it's like new math. It's no longer 1 + 1 is equal to 2. It's like you get something that's so much greater and so much more profound than you'd ever get just being siloed by yourself. So my suggestion is make sure, of course, that the groups that you're getting involved with are showing alignment. But for 2023, make sure that you have your collaboration partners, you have your coaching set up for whatever it is that you need. 2020, I think it was. I'm giving you an example. In 2020, what I needed as far as coaching goes was I needed coaching on how to be on social media. I actually needed coaching on that. I needed to learn what Facebook pixels were. I needed to learn how to set up a paid account on Pinterest. I needed to learn how to make LinkedIn ads. That's what I needed to learn in 2020. Why did I need to learn that? Because I was launching my book. And so for that time, my coach was laser focused like a bullet on that. And that helped me to learn how to do all those things. And of course, it's been great because now I can also support our Ladies Power Lunch folks in our visibility circle because I know how to do a lot of that stuff now. Mentorship, always have a toe in that. Networking, masterminding, all of that. The next piece of Grow Smarter is all in. And one of the things that we often think about when we're getting into a coaching relationship or a mentorship relationship, networking, masterminding, or even a collaboration relationship is this other person who's in this relationship with me, are they all in? And yes, that's a 100% valuable question to ask. And I have found that the better question to ask is, am I all in? Am I all in? Am I really all in? I'll give you an example of not being all in. The other day, one of my very, very dear friends, who is one of our biggest supporters of Ladies Power Lunch, she's just like in our corner forever. And she asked me to be supportive of her on something that she had coming up. When she told me about it, guys, it sounded amazing. And I said yes immediately. However, I said yes before I checked my schedule. And I wanted to be all in, but I couldn't be all in. That was not available to me. And how often are we, with such good intentions, dividing our time and just stretching ourselves to the limit? Fortunately, she's amazing. She's outstanding. And when I reached out to her and I said to her, Shannon, I can't. I look at my schedule and it is not available to me. But I can do these few things, but I can't do the whole. And she was so gracious, and she's also even been so gracious to include me in anything that she's doing. She's like, just check. If you can, yes. If you can't, no big deal. And it really made me remember to go back to Grow Smarter principles. Make sure that whatever we're doing, so we're getting out there and networking, and we're working with our coaches, and we're doing some mentorship, and we're masterminding, but are we all in? Are we all in? Are we really giving it, our best? And are we available for that? Assignment is the next piece, and I feel like it ties really beautifully with the final piece, which is applications and resources. Assignment is making sure that the thing that you're doing every single day that's taking up the most of your time is either of two things: either the thing that you do or marketing the thing that you do. Those are your jobs. The rest of it is actually not your job. So I wanna call in Elizabeth and Rachel, because I think this bears some discussion. Elizabeth, how many things? Tell me one thing, just one thing that you do that probably you have no business doing.
Well, I'd say right now, I sometimes am still formatting the books and doing formatting of books that I
Mhm.
really don't. I should not be spending time doing headers on a book, right? Like, I
Mhm,
just don't
mhm.
think that is a thing that makes sense for me to be spending time on.
How about you, Rachel?
I wear all the hats. I do all the things. And
Mhm.
this was the first year I started to build a team to help
Yes.
just diversify and delegate and let things go. And I do
Mhm.
have a VA that I'll be working with that I've been doing a VA, but it's, it's a literal virtual VA that's not here. I have someone that will be coming in, like an actual assistant coming
Mhm.
to my office a couple days a week that I can now hand off. You create the PDF with the what to expect from my client. You create the marketing, you do this, that, and the other thing that I've been doing all the things for many, many years. So delegating is going to be a big part of 2023.
I had a conversation yesterday with one of our members who I love so much, just amazing woman. And this was the meat of our conversation. Like, we were talking about, okay, going into 2023, what's that gonna look like? For me, I'm gonna be honest, I'm an overdoer. And a lot of the times,
You.
in order to, well, here's how it happens. You guys familiar with human design? So my husband, he's a
Yeah.
manifesting generator, right?
Oh, I
And
am.
yeah, so manifesting generators, they can do the stuff. Not only can they do the stuff, but they can fast track it in a way that the rest of us don't have a clue about. But guess what? I get to borrow his energy, my husband's energy, and I wash that energy through myself. And that's how I get to do all the things that I do. But the difference between him and me is that every day his energy renews. When I crash, and that's it. So I need to make sure that I'm not overdoing, because I
Mm.
have a tendency to, I'll just do it myself because I'll get it done
Yeah.
faster, or it'll be easier, or I just, it's gonna take too long to explain everything to somebody else. I'll just do it myself. And then I find myself at the end of the day, and I'm editing, editing podcasts. No, not good at it anyway. Why am I doing that, right? I'm editing video. I'm making, just doing things that I have no business doing. That's not my deal. So I am so grateful for Sandy, who is my manager. And Sandy is so wonderful. She'll literally remind me to eat. This is a sign of somebody who really, really, truly has my best interest at heart. And she's bringing on 2 more team members physically. so that we can be supported for Ladies Power Lunch. And we're also bringing on one more team member virtually. So on the virtual assistance side, I would love for you guys who are joining us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group to share with us, what is it that you're doing that you really have no business doing? Just drop a comment in the chat and let us know, because we're curious minds want to know. So assignment means sticking to your assignment, basically figuring out, like, you might have to sit down and write it out. Like, what is your job description? What is it? What's your job description? And when you know, I'm a firm believer in writing things down and having lists and checklists. It probably comes from working in hospital where, you know, everything is a checklist, because if something is missing, that can be detrimental to a patient. So I'm really big on lists. And so my suggestion is, when it comes to assignment, know what your assignment is. I'm not saying you can't veer outside of it in cases of emergency, but know your assignment and stick to your assignment. Do you. And the things that are not your brilliance, there are ways to afford in your business having support. And the last thing is applications and resources, which speaks to said same support, making sure that you have, there are tons of apps out there that can do a lot of the things that we might be slugging away at. Like, I think I was using the wrong editing software the other day, and somebody said to me, oh, why are you using that? Why don't you use that other one? And then something that was taking me hours, suddenly it was just a few minutes. And just knowing what the right app to use made a huge difference. If you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you need, ask some questions. Always, there's an opportunity in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, at least, or you can post it on your own social media. What's the software that everybody's using for editing their podcast? Ooh, drop it in the chat. Somebody's going to answer. And if nobody answers, I'm going to get in there and plug it and say, hey, doesn't anybody know the answer to this? Can somebody share? And I might even go try to help you find out, because finding the applications that make your life easier, priceless. And then, of course, human resources. Like I said, Sandy raised her hand and said, we need some more support in this area and this area, and we're hiring 2 more people. And we found a way to make it affordable for us so that we can still do the things that Ladies Power Lunch needs. It might mean that you get an intern, right? It might mean that as part of an exchange for mentorship, somebody might be able to provide you with some support that you need. I know people who do coaching exchanges. I know people who, as part of their collaboration, they do exchanges. So there are ways that you can get support without breaking the bank, but don't hesitate. Virtual assistants, get the support that you need. So those are my 5 tips for getting 2023 to cooperate with your dream. Because 2023 wants to, but you have to go within, you have to ask, spend some time with your journal, figure out what you want your life to look like. And I would even say, when you're planning this stuff out, look at your next 90 days. And when you figure out what it is that you want and who you want to be connecting with, just look at your next 90 days and say, okay, what are the things that I can do in month 1 to get to my goal, get closer to my goal? What are the 4 things that I can do in month 1 to get closer to my goal? When you figure out what those 4 things are, you put 1 thing for each week, and at least you have 1 objective for each week. As Gina says over here in the Facebook group, hashtag plan. We love plans. Ask alignment. all in assignment and applications and resources. I feel like that's the way to dive right into 2023. For 2023, my goal is to make Ladies Power Lunch just a wonderful, an even more wonderful place for all of you to join us in. We definitely have our TV shows, which are every single episode is one of our members sharing about something that's going to be helping you to grow your business. We have our podcast and Free Gift Friday, which is a member sharing her gifts and talent or his gifts and talents with you. We have our monthly networking meeting, the third Monday of every single month, and that's an opportunity for us all to get together for networking and masterminding and connection and finding your next collaboration partner. All of that is available there. And of course, we have our summits, one in spring and one in fall, and those are an opportunity for us to get together live, whether it's in person or virtually, and just spend 2 days really diving deeply into what it means to grow our businesses in a better way, not with the push and the pull and the hustle and the struggle, but with ease and flow. And one of our members, who is, well, Veronica, she's one of our shamans in our Ladies Power Lunch group. She mentioned to me this week that, flow doesn't mean that it's always at the high water mark, because flow means that there are times when you're working hard and there are times when you're pulling back. It's that give and take, that come and go. So those are my recommendations for 2023. If you would like to be a part of the things that we have upcoming, what I would say to you is go to growsmarternotharder.com/visibility, because we are inviting right now the authors and speakers for our fall summit and the anthology that we're going to be publishing in October. We're inviting them now because we do a collaborative marketing strategy, and it starts now and it goes right on until October. So anybody who wants to be part of that visibility program, we're inviting you to be a part of that, both myself and Elizabeth. And you'll get to be a best-selling author, yay! But not only that, you'll get your message in a book with hopefully 20 other people who are like-minded, and you'll get a chance to mastermind with them, and you'll get a chance to share your message with them, and you'll get a chance to be on their stages, and they'll have a chance to be on your stages, and you will basically, through the power of collaboration, spread your message to about 20 to 50,000 of the kinds of people who are just like you. Any questions before we go? Elizabeth, any final thoughts?
I'm so excited for the next year because we never know where it's going to go. And we do a quantum thing here. You have designed this thing, Davia, where it goes so much faster, that we've done so much in the past 2 years that I can't even imagine what's going to happen in the next year. So I am just thrilled to get to be part of it. It will be really fun. Thank you.
It's going to be fun because the next anthology that we're doing is called Live Your Optimal Life. And I feel like it's going to be a great opportunity for those of us who have some insight into how we can be more in flow and less in hustle, to contribute their wisdom to the collective. So I'm really looking forward to see who shows up for that. We're probably almost halfway full, so we do have room for a few more people to be a part of that. And if you have any questions or any thoughts of being a part of that, I would say just go to growsmarternotharder.com/visibility and you can get more information there, or just private message me and I'm happy, or Elizabeth, and we're happy to share about that with you. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. It is Free Gift Friday, and so my gift to you, go to growsmarternotharder.com/bundle, and there are 16 free gifts there from me to you. Happy holidays. Bye, everyone.